Welcome to Astro Venture, the DSLR astrophotography channel.
Hey there, Astro Ventures. Welcome back. If you're new to this astrophotography channel, my name is George, and this is the astrophotography channel for DSLR, or mirrorless camera bodies combined with the lenses we already own, and a simple star tracker like the Skyguider Pro or the Star Adventurer. Today, I wanted to talk to you about upgrading your skills, and here's what I mean. A long time ago, when I first got into photography, now not astro, but photography, it all happened in Moab, Utah, and I was out with a good buddy of mine, Larry, who is an amazing photographer, and we had hiked out to the Delicate Arch, and we were taking some photographs of the arch during sunset. And after I had an image that I was kind of proud of, I turned to my buddy Larry, and I said, "Hey, Larry," and I showed him the back of my camera and told him, asked him, "What do you think?" And Larry, said, "It sucks." And then he tried to backpedal from there because he realized he had just blatantly told me my image sucked, and I told him I was good with him telling me it sucked, but why did it suck? So that I could get better. He started to explain about white balance and composition and all of these things that are involved with photography. And that's what got me started on the road of photography. Over the course of many years, I developed my skills. I shoot professionally now, and I owe it all back to Larry telling me that my image sucked. Now, on another trip down to Moab again, I was at Dead Horse Point. And if you're unfamiliar with Moab, Moab is a gorgeous place in the south of Utah. And Dead Horse Point is a spectacular location for doing some astrophotography to the south and southwest. Primarily, awesome for the Milky Way. And so I'm down there photographing a star for a client, and the end of the night, I decide, as I start packing up my gear, I decide to take my long lens that was on the camera, which was also a crop sensor, and I decided to turn it into the heart of the Milky Way and take a photograph. And in doing so, it was because I knew, there's just got to be stuff out there. And so this here is the picture that I captured, and it's my first astrophotography photograph. Now, with that, it was less than a second, and I couldn't tell you what any of the settings were on it. But when it came back, the back of the camera, and I look at it, and I saw that color. That's what set the fire for me for astrophotography. And I started down that road. Now, that photograph happened to me 2019. So I start down the road investigating, learning about all the tools of the trade, so to say, where we are with this astrophotography channel. I start learning to edit. And as I develop my skills, I even won some little, first place awards in my local astrophotography club here, with various, images, and I was quite proud of myself. Now, I wouldn't consider myself by any means an expert, but I was clearly developing, and I was doing well, because I had been recognized in both beginner and in the expert class. So I was on my way. I was happy. Now, that brings me to photographing the Witch Head Nebula. And my first attempt at photographing the Witch Head Nebula, it didn't go well. There was too much light pollution, gradient from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I just scrapped all of it. And then I still wanted that Witch Head. I think it's an amazing nebula, and I just wanted it. So late in the season, when Rigel would be more to the southwest, more to the west than the south, getting away from Salt Lake City, I planned another night where I could get out there and shoot, and I had a better location, better positioning. And so I shot the Witch Head, and what I found was my skies still weren't as good as they could be. Gradient was messing it up, and well, here you go. This is the image. And it was the best that I could do. And with that, I had showed a friend of mine, and he said, you know, it kind of looks more like a smudge on the lens. And he was right, because it's a very flat image. It just doesn't have the cloudiness, the nebulosity in it that you would expect to see. It looks more like a smudge. I wasn't making excuses, because it was a matter I didn't know enough to know what I didn't know. And I was thinking the problems I was running into was, again, location. It still wasn't right. I still had to contend with Salt Lake City, even though I was in a better location. And so there were just a number of reasons why it didn't turn out. And I had shared the image on Astro Venture DSLR, our Facebook group for this YouTube channel, because, you know, good or bad, it's all about growth. It's all about learning, education. And so I figured I might as well share it. And I put the image up there. And from there, you know, I shared it. Some people were, you know, oh, I'd be thrilled if I, you know, had an image like that. But I knew there just had to be more, and it could be done better. And one of our forum group members, Ignacio, and I apologize if I'm saying the name incorrectly, he had reached out after looking at my image, and he said, you know, I'd like to, you know, take a crack at editing the image. I think there may be more there. And so I put the raw file up there for him, and he got in there and did his magic, and a couple days later he posted up this image. And oh my gosh, wow. Now, there is the red cast that does need to be canceled out of there, and that comes because I shoot on a Nikon D600 that has been Astro modded, and if you're familiar with Astro modded cameras, they have that red cast, and that can easily be cleaned up. But the nebulosity that he pulled out of this image, it is so much better than my image. And he brought out a lot of data, nebulosity in there that I couldn't even find or realize was in there. And so what Ignacio essentially did was he, and not that he did this, but this was that same moment of telling me I suck. And I'm thankful for that, because it kind of shows me where I am, where I need to work to be, and how much more skill I need to develop. And so I'm really appreciative of what Ignacio did with putting that image up. And not that, like I said, I never thought I was great at my Astro editing, but it shows me how much further I need to go, and how much more data is in all of my images that I simply have not learned to extract. So why I tell you this, many times in photography, not Astro, I will have people that will come to me telling me they want to upgrade their camera, and the first question I ask them is, well, what is it that your current camera is not doing for you that you feel a new camera will? And 99% of the time, it's not the camera. It's that they need to develop their skills, their understanding of photography. The camera is up to the job. And this is exactly the situation. I kept thinking I needed darker skies, better location, and it just shows me that no, I need more skills. The equipment I have is more than capable. It's me and my editing that is not as capable as my equipment. So consider that. Get yourself some more training. You'll be amazed at what you can pull out, the same way that I was, and we can all always improve. Until next time, I wish you clear skies and uneventful nights.